In the early 1990s, we realized that computers would get incredibly clever, and this would be a big threat unless we could actually figure out some way of keeping up with the machines. And the obvious way of keeping up with the machines is to be able to make a direct connection between our brains and the machine world. So we thought, well, how can you do that? You can't stick a DIN socket into the back of your head. That isn't going to work very well. But then lots of people started talking about nanotechnology and self-replicating devices, and we thought, well, at some point in the distant future, say 2030, 2040, who knows, you should be able to get an injection into your arm with a few nanotechnology devices which would wander up to your brain and start connecting to every single neuron. And there's enough address space, and even in IP version 6, the Internet Addressing System, you can address signals to every single neuron individually in your brain. In fact, every neuron in the entire planet, everybody's brain, you can send signals to. So we've got a means, in principle, of connecting electronic devices to every brain cell in your head. Therefore, you can take an exact replica of your brain, so I could have Ian Pearson Mark II living inside my PC in 2030, and I could have all of my thoughts backed up on there, all of my memories backed up, and if I get run down by a bus, it doesn't matter. It's not a career problem because I've got a backup on the network. So this is a wonderful concept for the future. We call it Soul Catcher, effectively capturing my entire mind and dumping it on a chip, well, notionally a chip, and I would have another existence in cyberspace. Unfortunately, a lot of the media have misunderstood. They thought we were doing this next year, but it's actually sort of 25, 30 years away, unless we get some very big breakthroughs in technology between now and then.
One groundbreaking application of body-machine communication already offers paraplegic people a mobility they thought they'd lost forever.
Julie, did we have a little accident?
Professor Tim Perkins has developed a system which allows communication between the crank mechanism of the tricycle and a set of electrodes which stimulate nerves controlling some of the muscles in the lower limbs. Julie Hill was one of Tim's first guinea pigs. So far, she's the only person in the group to have implanted electrodes linked directly into her nervous system. Signals from the crank pass via a computer-programmed controller into the implant, stimulating her legs to make a circular motion.
There's a line that runs back to this control box. This is her stimulation controller. As I say, she's got an implanted stimulator, so the connection between the outside world and her implant inside is via this RF transdermal transmitter, and she places this on the right side of her chest and just immediately over where the implant is inside, and that takes the signals via some cabling that's implanted round to the small of her back and into the electrodes on her spinal nerve roots. So that's how it works. All we've got to do really is to map out which nerve root corresponds to which set of muscles and measure over which angle of the cranks that the pedal force is actually positive, because there's no point in doing it the other way around, otherwise the pedals would go backwards, and that wouldn't do, would it?
It's good fun. It's very good for me. It's keeping me healthy and fit. It's keeping my blood pumping. It's keeping my bone density high. It's just, I'm going to have a long, happy, normal life. And it's mainly down to the fact that I can keep as fit and active as I am.
Some scientists argue that 21st century cyborg technology is essentially about the way we interact with computers. At the University of Reading, Professor Kevin Warwick uses cybernetics to create interfaces between computers and the human world in an attempt to enhance human communication abilities. His latest experiment involves using the internet to communicate with his wife Irena, using signals generated directly by their nervous systems.
I'll be receiving an implant in my left arm connected onto my nervous system. We're sending signals by radio from my nervous system to the computer and then back again from the computer to my nervous system. And as long as everything goes okay, then
I will have my implant as well.
exactly the same. And what we're looking to do is to send signals from my nervous system, potentially across the internet, down onto Irena's nervous system,
And back again.
from Irena to me. So we're looking at things like movement. If I move my finger, signal across to Irena's nervous system,
I will move my finger,
and
and if I feel pain,
then the signal will go from Irena's arm onto my nervous system. It'd be interesting. Will I feel pain the same way or not? And
maybe not.
maybe not. And what about excitement?
Oh, it will be interesting. What we feel about each other,
Each other, yes. Or
or if I'm excited by somebody else,
surely not. Surely not. And some of those signals would appear on my nervous system.
My feeling is that nothing changed, that I will be still a human being with my human feelings, but Kevin feels that something will change and that we will be in the cyborgs. I want to stay human.
I know.
We will be in the cyborgs. I want to stay human.
I know.
So I want to be real about it. First of all, everybody should take the vaccine. Okay? Stop that bullshit about this the vaccine. Right. Now on the flip side, I understand why black people don't want to take the vaccine. Black people don't want to take the goddamn vaccine because they don't trust your white ass. That's what it really comes down to. Black people do not trust what white people gonna put in that goddamn vaccine because they don't watch white people destroy them over and over and over and over again. And if we ain't learned nothing from Nazi Germany, we learned that them Germans, they knew how to kill you right through their medical system. They was killing every injured or maimed or paraplegic in the entire country. Was doping them up, killing them, doing all kinds of shit to them. So I understand how black people think, but take the goddamn vaccine shot. Stop listening to the conspiracy theorists out here telling you was doping them up, killing them, doing all kinds of shit to them. So I understand how black people think, but take the goddamn vaccine shot. Stop listening to the conspiracy theorists out here